Welcome to Justice for, a true crime podcast hosted by two besties from Colorado. We're focused on bringing justice to the victims by telling their stories. New episodes release every single Tuesday, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and the follow button anywhere that you can find us, and you'll get updates on all of our new episodes.
Just a warning, this podcast does contain adult language and adult themes, such as assault and abuse of varying forms, so please listen and watch with discretion. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another WTF episode. We're your hosts. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Sam.
What the fuck is a WTF, you may ask?
I don't know.
Well, it's an episode released on Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays that explains all of the WTF questions for current case updates or trials that may be happening right now. We have a couple that we want to catch you up on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're also going to be doing some full episodes on some of these soon, possibly.
Possibly, just depending on how things go.
Usually, maybe not this episode, but on our WTFs, a lot of times we will introduce one or two things that we will later do a full episode on. Just kind of introduce you guys. So, as always, buckle up, Buttercup. What you got for me?
Well, to start with, what the fuck is wrong with Sheila Mann?
I don't know, but you're about to tell me, aren't you?
Sure I am. So Sheila Mann is a mom in Richmond, Kentucky. She was arrested on July 23rd for allegedly abusing her 10-year-old daughter.
Wait, that was like 4 days ago. Well, today's the 27th, so like for you guys, it was like a week ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
This literally just happened, bruh.
Just happened.
Literally just happened. Her daughter, who will remain nameless for this, obviously she's fucking 10, all right? Okay? So she told the police some very disturbing things that her mother would do to her. She said that her mom would place both hands around her neck and try to strangle her, causing her not to be able to breathe properly, and that her throat hurt for many days after.
What the fuck?
I know, that's not even the worst of it. So hold on here, okay? She claims that her mom also threatened to slit her throat on multiple occasions.
Dear God.
Oh, wait. And she would be forced to stay in a dog kennel for 2 to 3 days at a time, only letting her out to go use the bathroom.
This is some Criminal Minds level shit.
10 years old.
10 years
10
old.
years old.
Like, oh, this poor baby.
Yeah, like what the fuck, Sheila? What the fuck, Sheila? She, of course, is denying any of these accusations, and according to WYKT, a news channel in Kentucky, quote, she says it stems from a misunderstanding in a situation in Georgetown where she was the actual victim. She said her daughter was not forced to stay in a dog kennel, end quote.
Oh, that's the part she wants to clarify.
Correct.
Okay.
She also claims that she has always had a job in like caretaking and would never do anything like this.
Ugh, that's a lot for a 10-year-old to make up. And
that's very specific.
And it's very specific and descriptive in ways like the way she describes it hurts for days.
Yeah.
That right there isn't a lie. Yeah. Because when kids lie, they're not going to add details of extra like that. They don't think that far ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel just like, I understand kids have wild imaginations, but they're also some of the most honest kids out there.
Yeah, and
you
also,
can tell when they're fucking lying.
Yes, and I will say that this is the age, like not 2024 the age, but like the age of 10. You know, that 8 to like 12 years old of these kids being like, I'm going to call the cops. That's child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't one of those. Yeah, this is actual child abuse. She had a valid point.
Yeah.
So like, yes, while kids at this age are like that, we're not having that problem here.
Absolutely. So Sheila is facing several charges, including strangulation, criminal abuse, and unlawful imprisonment. Unfortunately, that's all we currently have on this. We will be it just happened.
It just happened.
It literally just happened.
We wish we had more info.
Yeah, but we're going to be keeping an eye on this, and we'll let you guys know how things unfold. But for now, fuck.
Yeah, keep an eye out for little videos posted on Facebook or YouTube. coming from one of us as updates come out.
Okay.
So, when the fuck is the Karen Read trial now? Listen, you guys, we have tried to give you an update on Karen Read multiple times. I mean, during the end of the trial, like in between, and every time that we would have one ready to go out, something new would come out and break, and we were like, crap.
I literally have all those videos on my phone.
Yeah.
Still.
I know. I was just talking to my sister about them the other day, and she's like, when is Sam going to post those? And I'm like, we're not, because, well, it doesn't apply anymore.
Everything is just changing so fast.
This one, it was like every day we had something new.
Yeah.
So
we just decided
a little late here. But finally we're going to give you your Karen Read update.
Yes.
So if you don't know who Karen Read is at this point, please get out from underneath your rock, Patrick Star, and join us. So, okay, listen, you guys, we let the cats out of the room just because this episode was going to be quick, and now they are doing nothing but causing chaos. Okay, so
cute.
Taryn is from Boston, and she has been accused of killing her police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, back in 2022. And she claims that she didn't do anything to him, and she's being set up by the Boston Police Department, as well as the owners of the home that he was found dead at. He wasn't found dead in the home, he was found dead out in the yard, the home, in the front snow. Yard. Yeah.
Ugh.
She had a trial for 2 months, and the jury hit an impasse.
Yeah.
And could not make a unanimous decision for one of her charges. However, they were able to make a unanimous decision on 2 of the charges, but those were never read in court.
Bro, honestly, before I continue on with this, like, let's talk about this really quick, because they told the judge, like, hey, we can't make a decision on this. We don't know what to do. And the judge was like, go back in, eat some lunch, and get back into it.
It was very interesting how she kept having them go back into it.
Like, but twice, I'm pretty sure.
I get the most interesting part of this is, and I know that we're going to talk about the jurors here in a minute, is that something that needs to be mentioned. You know, it goes right up there with, you don't have to wait 24 hours to report someone missing. You can report someone missing after 30 minutes.
Yep.
Okay? So it goes literally right up there that everyone needs to know this. You can add as many statements and words and thoughts as a juror to the sentencing sheet that you give the judge. You can over-explain in an 8-page essay, and it is okay. The problem was, these jurors did not realize that they could say everything and explain what their conclusion was on other charges. They thought that they just had to answer to it and that they could give a little bit of an explanation. They didn't know how far they could go. And if they would have, I think things could be different right now. We found out after everything was dismissed and done that the jurors are so scared in this, because this case is big. Like, people are outside the courthouse protesting and on, like, free Karen Read or this and that. Like, and it's not a celebrity case. This is a very random thing that people have latched onto. So jurors are very terrified of people finding out who they are. So some of these jurors, they obviously wanted this information to go back to the defense. And so the defense got some feedback to hand back to the judge. But some of these jurors were so scared that they wouldn't directly reach out to the defense. They told a family member, and that family member told a friend, and that friend went ahead and said something. And currently right now, I've heard some talk on court TV that something with Karen Read's team or her in general is very much expressing that they seal the jurors. And that way they will never be released and it will never be public, in order to keep these jurors safe. Yeah. Because of how controversial what they were doing in there was. Yeah.
Well, also, you're going after an entire police department.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're worried that they killed this guy.
Yes.
Why wouldn't they go after someone else?
Yeah, it's
because they think they're safe, especially if they get off. Like, the police are not on trial. Let me stress this.
No,
Karen is the one on trial, not the police. However, a lot's coming out that does not back the police anymore.
And not only that, we now have 2 police officers being investigated, and they have been relieved of duty.
Mm-hmm.
And there is another investigation going. We have like 3 investigations that are now happening because of this within the departments. And people have been let go who were very key people in this trial. I'm hoping, as of right now, they're not changing her charges for the new trial, right?
They're trying.
They should. I think the defense is trying.
Yeah.
There's been talk. I think you've heard the talk too.
So,
go ahead.
Let's
finish this before we get to that.
Let's got you. So, since the judge decided that this is now a mistrial, we have to go back to court. Karen's attorneys have been talking to the judge and the prosecutors about the other charges that were unanimously decided on that the jurors said, but I honestly don't think it's going to go anywhere because I think there's just so... It wasn't mentioned in court. It was not mentioned. It was not put out there. So unfortunately, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, personally.
Well, if they're smart, and I don't know which side of this to be smart on, the defense's side... Well, first of all, let's talk about the fact that if the jurors had let the judge know what the 2 charges they were unanimous on, we would have had... No. During court.
Oh,
if they would have more so said that they could not decide on the first degree, or the second degree, which was it first or second degree they're going after, and then they had the manslaughter and then the leaving the scene of an accident.
So I'm pretty positive it was the manslaughter they couldn't decide on.
So it was the first degree because Court TV was putting it that if they would have just gone after manslaughter and one of the other charges, they could have gotten her.
Got it.
But Court TV also said that if the jury would have given more information to the judge about their decisions, it would have been an acquittal.
Do you...
Like, we could have been looking at an acquittal.
Do you think that the judge told the jurors specifically that if you don't get all 3 of them, we're not doing any of them? Or, like, you can't say anything further about this. It's either guilty or not guilty.
So, between the judge not changing the charge sheet and the judge telling them to go back and keep deliberating and all the other things that's been out there about the judge, my personal opinion is that she wanted this done and over with so she did not have to deal with it anymore. And without her having to make a decision in this. And the easiest way for her to do that was to make the jury do it. And based on her guidelines to the jury, based on what the jury gave back to her, this is what we got. I think that our charges should be redone before her new trial, because if they're going to charge her on the same basis,
it might just happen all over.
I see it just happening all over again.
Yeah.
I don't think a jury is going to convict her on a first or second degree. I think they'll convict her on involuntary manslaughter.
Maybe.
Because there might be enough proof, but they also don't have the proof for leaving the scene of an accident. They weren't charging her on that. So it's so messy. But also what's going to change if we still hold those charges by the time we go to trial? We now have 3 key players in this who are now let go, internal affairs investigations, and everything else. So yes, we're getting the same trial, but we're going to have so much different stuff in this now because of all the investigation.
So much.
Do you guys, for those of you who haven't heard of Karen Reed, you've now just learned why we're not covering Karen Reed, because that would be like a 4-hour episode and we would all be confused at the end.
So, unfortunately, you guys, we're not going to get any further information on this because the new retrial is now set for January 27th of 2025. So next year. Hopefully they're going to release some info, but like, let's just not hold our breath. Yeah. Especially with all these investigations and everything.
Pre-trial hearings and other stuff like that, which will give us some things. But hopefully in that time that we will get some stuff from these internal affair investigations.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Again,
and those we can keep you updated on if we get anything.
If we get anything. I'm not holding my breath on it. So, I don't know. But maybe we will, because it is such a big case now.
Yep, that's about right. You've never let me pet you before.
I'm surprised she did that.
I was shocked. I was letting it happen and I didn't want to say anything.
I loved it. So, again, though, if you guys do want a super deep dive on this case at all, please go check out Serialistly or 10 to Life with
Annie Elise.
Annie Elise, thank you.
She is passionate about Karen Reed.
Very.
And she does a very, very good job covering her.
And it's not just like 1 or 2 episodes. She has a series.
Yeah, she has multiple deep dives.
And she had people at court.
Yep, she had trial recaps. And yes, she is about it.
Please go watch that if you really want to know more. It is very intriguing, very interesting. So just do it. All of the original trial that just happened is also on the Crime TV app or
Court TV.
That one, Court TV.
Crime TV, Court TV, same thing.
Court TV app or their YouTube channel as well. Please go check it out. We love the Court TV, even though I don't know the name of it all the time, apparently.
And I would like to add on Court TV, I've learned this in these past couple weeks. There is a Court TV YouTube, Court TV app, Court TV podcast, and a Court TV website. All 4 of these things have all different stuff on them.
Oh, fuck.
Like the Court TV app, you have all the live trials, they have archive trials. You go over to the podcast, all different stuff. You go over to the YouTube, all different stuff. You go over to their website, all different stuff. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys are spread everywhere. So yeah.
Too much.
The Court TV has it all.
They have a lot.
My turn?
Your turn.
Okay. What the fuck is going on in Tennessee, guys?
Bruh, I don't know. I fell in love with Nashville when I was there.
Love Nashville.
I'm not going back there.
Vegas of the South. That's what I called it when I got there.
I'm still not going back there after everything that's happening in Nashville right now. Like, this isn't even happening in Nashville. What?
I'm going there in November.
Why?
Well, I'm just going to stop through it on our drive back to eat some lunchy lunch.
Only do that.
I know. Okay.
Please, for the love of God.
So, Tennessee.
Yep.
Recently, and by recently, I mean like last week.
It was last week? I thought it was
so like night. It honestly, like a lot of the news has been coming out in the past few days. Today is July 27th. Yeah. By the time this gets to you guys, it'll be maybe a week and a half old.
Okay.
So
it'll be like
recently news broke that a 12-year-old girl in Humboldt, Tennessee is being held on first-degree murder charges.
Did you just say 12-year-old?
Yeah, I can't even believe I just said that. But let's break down what we know so far. So while we do know the name of the victim, we don't know the name of the 12-year-old being charged since she is a minor. But the family of this 8-year-old has released her name because they want her name said.
Hold on a second. Did you just say to me that a 12-year-old murdered an 8-year-old?
Her cousin. Yeah. So her parents want people to know her name. Mm-hmm. They don't want her referred to as the 8-year-old. So this sweet little 8-year-old, Demeria Hollingsworth, was visiting her grandma who lived about 90 miles northwest of Memphis. And her 12-year-old cousin was also visiting as well. And what was supposed to be a fun visit to grandma's? You remember hanging out with your cousins at grandma's house in the summertime? It was my favorite time. Okay.
I didn't do that.
For once, I get a happy family moment here. So, I loved hanging out with my cousins in the summer. It was like one of my favorite things to do. You got to hang out at grandma's house, sleepovers, apple butter, peanut butter sandwiches. It's a great time, guys. So.
Wait, was it only apple butter and peanut butter?
That's like my favorite. I also like Fluffernutters, which is peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. But apple butter and peanut butter is like one of the best sandwiches.
But you don't put any jelly?
That's apple butter.
But it's still butter.
No, it's not. It's like
I know it's not apple butter, but there's 2 butters.
But it's delicious. I'll make you one.
Okay.
Anyway, so what was supposed to be this fun visit to grandma's? Getting to hang out with an older cousin, sleepovers every night, turned into an absolutely senseless tragedy. At some point, these two girls started arguing over an iPhone, which is typical nowadays for their ages. Mm-hmm. Now, it's not clear what they were fighting about with the phone. Mm-hmm. I mean, does it really matter at this point? But that night, the 12-year-old was still mad about it. So while Demeria was sleeping on the top bunk, her cousin began smothering her with a blanket.
You think she was also mad about her sleeping on the top bunk?
Probably. I thought about that.
It was just a combination of everything.
So while she's sleeping, she smothered her with a blanket. And during this, Demeria soiled herself. So her cousin cleaned her up and changed her clothes, then repositioned her body and covered Demeria up with a blanket and went back to bed. So how do we know that this is what happened? Well, there's a camera in that bedroom, and it caught the entire murder on video.
Jesus Christ.
The prosecutor said that it is absolutely chilling to watch the video. The footage hasn't been released, and I don't think it ever will be released. Even if it does get played at trial, if this goes to trial, I don't think that this video will ever see anything outside of a juror or a judge. But it's just absolutely crazy to me that a 12-year-old would go this far over an iPhone argument. And I know what you're about to say. And I know what you're about to say. She's 12. She doesn't understand what she actually did.
I wasn't going to say that.
I knew you wouldn't say that, but I was talking to our people because when I wrote that, I was like, Sam would never say this. Anyway, but let me add something to this that's just going to infuriate you.
Oh, no.
She turns 13 this week.
She's a whole ass teenager.
Yeah, which is an excellent segue into the prosecution wanting to try her as an adult and not a juvenile. And I see the reasoning. If she's tried as a juvenile, she gets out at 18 and we're done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But if she's tried as an adult, she won't get out at 18. You know? But also, that's the other hand is, how can we put a 13-year-old in an adult prison? I actually have an episode about that soon. It's a really bad idea. Not to mention that her brain isn't even developed. I mean, can you truly hold someone to their actions at 12, almost 13 years old? But at the same time, my 11-year-old who just turned 11 knows way better than to do that. My 11-year-old knows that that is a life-ending action. My 11-year-old knows that that is not okay.
Yeah.
But she also took the time to cover it up. Mm-hmm. She cleaned her up. She changed her clothes. She repositioned her body and then hid her. Yeah. And we don't know if she thought about this all day, if it was an impulse. But no matter what, it's absolutely tragic for a whole family. We have lost one kid that will never come back, and you have another one that is, no matter what, is gone.
So I need to go back really quick to, like, yes, I understand their brain's not fully developed and that they're trying to learn right from wrong. I feel that most children know that killing someone or something is wrong.
Yes.
Like, I feel like that's learned at a very early age. And I hate to say it this way, but in Kill Bill, they literally had the goldfish situation at the end. And, like, that right there is your prime example of life or death. It's not that hard to comprehend and grasp.
And especially almost 13 years old and over an iPhone argument. And so,
yes,
I support the trying her as an adult.
Absolutely.
But with the stipulation of keeping her in juvenile facilities until she is 18 to transfer to an adult court.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like really locked down juvenile facilities because she still
killed someone.
Yes, and this is where there is such the hard debate of, is she young enough to grow and learn and go past that and become a functioning member of society? Or was this something that was bound to happen? And this is when it happened.
Okay, man, I'm having more thoughts now. So, again, like if she would have just smothered her and went back to bed or like went and woke grandma up, something like that, that's one thing. You can tell, like,
that would give me impulse and remorse.
yes. And there would be hope then that she knew she did something wrong.
Yes.
But the fact that she cleaned her, repositioned her, put a new blanket on, like there was so many steps taken to try to cover this up.
And she's so calm.
That's fucked.
That's like Sheila Eddie level of psychotic.
Yes, that's like, for me, that's, I'm sorry, psychotic tendencies.
It almost brings me back to Slender Man killings.
Yeah.
Because they were 11 and 12 when they did this. And it takes me back to that. Like, they knew what they were doing, those girls. They went into mental health facilities and everything else. And yes, while they're probably never going to be fully reintegrated into society, one of them has a lot of stipulations being out right now. It's just, that's such an age to do that unknowingly, and then all the steps afterwards. That's what gets me. It's the cover up.
Because it's her own family. If it was a random person or I want to say like a friend, but like a friend, it's different. But she knew it was family. She's known this girl for probably her
whole life.
Her whole life. And it's just,
it's tragic.
I personally would love to know what she said to police before that camera was found. Or, I mean, granted,
she said, yeah, before there was video of it. And also, a question's getting brought up. Why is there a camera in this room to begin with?
That's a very good question, especially if it's a hidden camera or...
I mean, like, I have cameras in my house, but none of them are in the rooms.
Yeah.
Like bedrooms.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, maybe they're not the only cousins and grandma's had problem with other cousins. I don't know. There's could also be so many reasons.
You know, like my mother-in-law, she has a room at her house and it like has the bed in it. And at one point when there's the littler babies, they had like the crib or the pack and play for them to sleep in. So it could just be the one room at grandma's house that all the grandkids share and sleep in. And so there's like a nanny camera in there or a camera up there for like the babies or for, you know, if the parents are outside in the back having a party or hanging out, and that way they can still check on the kids in the room so the little ones can play. Totally understandable.
Yeah, so there could be a lot of different scenarios why there's a camera.
And this is still very new. So we will get more information and details coming out. Yeah. But we couldn't not, tell you guys about this one.
Maybe this little girl just needs an evaluation, like a mental health evaluation done. Because in a way, it kind of reminds me, the name I cannot piece together right now, but that little girl, you can see her on camera so calm during an interview, and she's just sitting there with her little haircut and a blue shirt, and I was like, I just wanted to stab my brother. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No. Oh. But I want to see it.
Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about?
But I will tell you what I thought of.
Went into a mental health facility and she actually is reformed now and is like thriving at life.
And I love that.
But she was also not 12. She was much younger. So
mine that came into play, which isn't like a real one, but okay, Law and Order episode. Oh. And what's her face from Modern Family? Not Ariel Winter, the other sister.
Sarah Hyland?
Mm-hmm. Okay. She has a Law and Order SVU episode about killing the other girl, her classmate, and like just like her portrayal, like how she's like so calm and everything, and then she wouldn't stop. And so I just didn't stop. I just kept hitting her. And like I feel that like when we finally get her, it like in my head it's a breakdown like that. But it just,
I really, really hope they actually release information on this.
I see with the way that Demeria's family is being online and wanting to get justice for her and wanting her name heard and say her name. And I have a feeling that they will not. They will update. And I also don't know if this will go to trial or not. But if it does, we will have all the updates.
Bro, I don't know. That one's
This
hard.
is just so recent. We had 2 really recent ones today.
Well, the Karen Reed thing just got decided on the 21st.
Yeah.
So it's been motherfucking recent.
It's been happening, y'all. It's been happening.
Twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we need to fuck up their morning with?
I don't think so. I think we fucked with you guys enough.
And if you guys have any new things popping out in the headlines that you want to hear, you can always message it on over to us.
Yes.
And, if something's breaking or going on.
Yeah, you can also go into our website, do a case submission, even if it's just a headline that you want to talk about.
Yeah, even if it's just like a breaking news headline. And if you can add any articles or any information that you have to at least get us started, it's really helpful.
Yes. We have had some people submit some breaking news stuff that we want to cover, and we just haven't had a chance to do it. Because some of those we might actually just turn into full cases. Because, goddamn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, some things are just, it's a little crazy.
This world has been wild lately.
Yes.
You know, I bet it's because there was a full moon this week.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that full moon was crazy.
Too much this week.
Mercury in the microwave.
Woo! Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Have the best day. Thank you for joining us on our WTF.
And go follow us on all the things. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tickety Text, YouTube,
All of the places.
All the places. Okay.
Okay, love you. Bye.